A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, October 26th. It's official, 6 candidates confirmed their bids to contest the November 11 by-election in the St. George North constituency today, filing their nominations at the Valley Resource Centre in the parish. The red machine was in full gear as Tony Moore, flanked by Prime Minister Mia Mottley, government ministers and well-wishers, staked her claim for the seat.
Let me say that today I am truly happy for this opportunity. It represents a defining moment in time, not only for the people of St. George North, but for workers of Barbados, and not only workers of the Barbados Workers Union, but the labour movement in Barbados. This is a significant time in our life and in our history. And I could not help but feel a little bit of I would admit it, anxiety this morning, and it is like the weight of the responsibility and the recognition of the effort and the commitment and the work that lays ahead comes being on as I approach another milestone in this journey. But what it has done as well, as I am humble enough to admit that, what it has done for me, this process this morning, it has fortified my determination and my commitment to serve the last people of Barbados, to serve their families, and to ensure that all Barbadians can have a better life, which is the mission of the Barbados Workers Union, which is the mission that has to be the focus as we go through the coming months and the coming years, and as we sail this ship called Barbados into smoother waters, into calmer waters. I look forward to the challenge. I embrace it.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley is confident Moore is the woman for the job.
I want to say how proud I am today to be able to witness the nomination of Tony Moore. As I said on the platform, this for us is a significant moment. It also represents history because potentially St. George North residents will get the opportunity to be able to elect the first woman ever to represent them in the history of this country since the introduction of the franchise for women in 1944.
Just after 11 a.m., the sweet songs of Tuck signaled the arrival of the Democratic Labour Party's candidate Floyd Reefer, who was accompanied by his wife Amanda Reefer, Democratic Labour Party President Verla de Pisa, and festive well-wishers. Reefer told reporters he's been having a good time in the field.
The feedback is great. We go to everybody house within the constituency. What I do, I go house to house. People been calling me saying, "Oh, you ain't get to me yet, you ain't get to me yet." But the constituency is a big place, but I'm going to get to everybody. But when I go to a neighborhood or community, I go house to house. I don't drive around and pick certain people to go to. But the response is great.
Party leader Verla de Pisa says the party will step up its campaign, but she's holding the details of the party's next move close to her chest.
We will ramp up our campaign effective immediately. We now are officially a part of this by-election, and we don't want to let all our secrets out because we've recognized certain trends. But you will see that we will be escalating our presence in St. George North from this point going forward.
Grenville Phillips, the candidate for St. Lucian's Barbados, signed a dotted line without much fanfare, but he made a case for a clean campaign with just over 2 weeks to go. He charged that bribes are emerging on the campaign trail.
I have heard credible reports of bribery in this by-election. I've heard it before, rumors, but I can confirm that there are credible reports of bribery in this election. I don't think people need to accept bribes in this election. To accept $50 to vote for poverty for themselves is lunacy. We plan to start a no-profit construction company and employ every unemployed person in St. George North who wants to work in construction. A laborer who has no skills can make $100 a day. A skilled worker can make $150 a day. Why sell your vote for $50 when you can make $150 every day? It takes about 6 months to build a decent-sized house. 6 months. Therefore, a laborer can make $12,000 for each house that he assists in building. A skilled laborer can make $18,000. Why throw away your vote for $50 or $100 or $150? That is pittance compared to what you can make. So my message to the people of St. George North is, if you are offered a bribe, take it. And then come down here to the police station right across the street, over there, and give the evidence to the police and let them charge the person that gave them the bribe.
All decked in green, the team from the People's Party for Democracy and Development provided strong support for its candidate David Walron. Walron, who believes he's the best man for the job, has big plans to transform his hometown.
I'm meeting persons who are concerned about their future, about the hope, about hope. There are persons who are having difficulty feeding themselves in St. George North. I am bringing a program that will help to give people hope. People are complaining about several things. Water too is one of the things that people have been complaining about for a long time. There are persons finding it difficult to pay rent, mortgages. The middle class in Barbados will soon become no more if we continue on the path, if this country continue on the path it's going right now. So we are devising plans and bringing hope regarding the existence of the people in Barbados, not only St. George North. And agriculture has to be the linchpin to bring this country back to some measure of hope. And I have a message for the people of St. George North and for Barbados regarding agriculture. There's a lot more on that you will hear shortly.
But if Ambrose Grosvenor of the United Progressive Party has his way, he will be the one heading to Parliament to represent St. George North after November 11.
I'm going to fight for St. George North. As a matter of fact, this election is primarily about agitation. Given the distribution of seats in Parliament, after the 11th, the administration will have 28 seats. So they will still be able to continue practicing the hegemony that happens today because they have the predominance of seats. So you need someone who can agitate for residents of St. George North. And I submit to you that I am that person. My body of work, my bio says that I have agitated over and over for St. George North.
At the same time, Alex Mitchell of the Bajan Free Party believes his chances are good, and he says he's offering Barbadians a better way.
Barbadians got to know that the life that they're living is not normal. It's not even near normal. And the people that are using their authority to suppress them, that has to end. And what we want to do at the Bajan Free Party is to use St. George North as an example of how all Barbados can be. We don't need tourism to survive. We need rule of law. We need the parliament to stop playing games. We need enforcement of the law for everybody, including the judges, the police, the lawyers, all of them.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now in Jamaica. Following heavy rains over the last few days, sections of the island have been affected by landslides and heavy flooding. The parish of St. Andrew has been hard hit. Prince Moore of Television Jamaica visited the community of Majestic Gardens and tells us more.
Heavy rains have been causing chaos for many, including the community of Majestic Gardens. Our news team visited the community where residents showed us the aftermath of the rain. They pointed to this gully. It overflows each time it rains, flooding their homes.
The amount of building and railway up on the corner. Every time rain falls, it's a flood out. People can't stay in their homes.
What caused the flooding?
See, the rain to gully.
Gully?
Yeah.
Also?
All right. So down the bridge, the bridge is so low. That's when the water come down in a rush. It's like it back up.
Another contributing factor is a breakaway in the road. They are asking for the authorities to fix the issue.
We need the council and somebody to come do something about to the community. We don't have to suffer too long. You see me? And right now, I be promises we get, and that can't help. Promises can't help. They have to do something.
Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, acknowledged that the community is prone to flooding, but it has gotten worse since the construction of Chesterfield Avenue.
I have written and spoken to the NWA about it, and the last time what we came and did is we actually cleaned the gullies just to make sure that any rains or so on, the possibility of flooding could be mitigated. Obviously, even with the cleaning that we have done, it's not enough. I think that there is a little breakaway that we're going to fix, but more than that, there's also the new bridge, the low bridge, that also traps debris coming down and cause some more flooding in the community.
She added that a permanent fix would require more funding from the government.
On the international front, angry reaction in Italy and some European states as governments impose more restrictions on people's freedoms to combat a resurgent coronavirus pandemic. We get the details from Euronews.
More and more parts of Europe are turning to curfews in an effort to reduce the spread of COVID-19 as winter approaches. This is Valladolid in northwestern Spain, which introduced the country's first regional curfew beginning on Saturday. There was some anger at the decision to stop people leaving their homes between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. here. But other parts of Spain are set to follow very soon, the Prime Minister says. The more we stay at home and the fewer contacts we have, the more protected we will be and the more we will protect our loved ones and the health of our society, he says. We do not need to approve measures to oblige us to do what we need to do. We know what we need to do. Less mobility, fewer contacts, and the fewer possibilities there will be for the virus to infect us. Therefore, let's stay at home as much as possible. In parts of Italy, curfews have been in place for several days. Here in Milan, the streets were deserted after the region of Lombardy imposed an 11 p.m. curfew. Another curfew is in place in Lazio, the region that includes the capital Rome, where there have been clashes with far-right protesters against the restrictions. We did not introduce a curfew. We do not like that word, the Italian Prime Minister said. But we wish to recommend to all of you that you should circulate only for work, for studies, and for necessary reasons. We also recommend you do not host people who are not a part of your family.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.